My Hero Academia.
Hello and welcome to episode 104 of My Hero Academia podcast. And with me today is Sophie,
Hello.
Gary,
Hello.
and Derek.
I like how you had the same exact cadence from Kicking Stones in that.
I know, I
and
tried not
my
to.
brain was just like, oh, where am I? Oh no, what day is this? Hi, how's everyone doing?
And to me, James. Oh boy. But today we're going over chapter 271 of the manga, as well as the Gary game.
Yes.
All right.
But first of all, you found some base news.
Yes, I did found some base news. But earlier this week, there was news for. I'm trying to see which shop it was. I'm pretty sure it was the Shonen Jump shop. But there is a Jiro base that's on for sale that should be available around June because the pre-orders are up right now. But it is a bass by EPS and it's an Edwards bass guitar. And I want to say that whoever wrote this said that it's 1640 is the price. But apparently that is a high-end instrument, which I will say, no, basses can go up a lot higher. But it has jazz pickups and a precision pickup, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, oh, let me check the specs on this bad boy real quick.
Yeah, it's a PJ bass,
It is
if anyone
nice.
that knows what
It,
PJ bass
it does look nice though. I mean, it's a nice like jazz style bass. I mean, hey.
Yeah. But
Ooh.
I kind of want to get it, but I don't know. But it's up for pre-order, so if you guys want to get it, you can just. I'm pretty sure it's the Shonen Jump shop. I'm not seeing the link anywhere, but I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it first.
I barely ever play my like $100 bought off Facebook Marketplace like beat up bass guitar, so I shouldn't spend $1,600.
I've had like 3 basses throughout like my entire music playing career, and I've never really like ever played them that much.
I wonder
But
how
if
much the shipping would be.
A lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all I could find for news.
Cool. On to the manga. Okay, so this is My Hero Academia chapter 271, and the title is Dark Cloud. Not Loud Cloud, Dark Cloud. Okay, and we start with someone swooshing over the forest and find out this is a bit earlier, about 30 meters behind the Gunga Villa front line. In fact, I'm saying, oh no, you don't. Sukiyami. And he just jumps out with dark shadow reinforces his skinny little arms. And I love Kaminari just poking out the top of Fat Gum. He's saying, don't ditch this ride, as he just propels himself up. And because it's sunshine there, Dark Shadow's looking terrified as he's flying him off.
Like the sound effect palm.
Yeah. And Kaminari doesn't want to get out as well. He's saying, what are you thinking, idiot? And Tokiyami just says, I spotted hawks on the top floor. He's probably in danger. Oh, what a valiant young man. And Fat Gum is pissed. He's saying, I know the kid is strong, but nobody's ever escaped my fat until now. Which, I don't know, I guess inside the fat, Dark Shadow would be stronger because it's dark in fat.
No light
Yeah.
touches this area.
I guess so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be that because Tokiyami is a skinny little man. And Fat Gum's held like criminals in there. But anyway, Fat Gum's like, hawks, really? You kids are hoofing it from here, and he just bops them all out. He didn't even give them any warning. That's quite dangerous.
I forgot
I know.
Mushroom Girl was in there.
Yeah, and she
Next
just
is
gives a
gonna fall
little.
face first.
Yeah, she just gives her a little E because she falls on her face. And Kaminari's falling out of that tummy like a cat with his paws up. And Fat Gum starts to chase up Tokiyami and he's saying, no ride and dash allowed! And the sound effect is dash. And then we go on to this beautiful front page. The art's so good, and it's also, I feel like this is a style that he's not Horikoshi's not done before.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It looks really good.
Yeah. I don't have much more to say on it, though. I don't know if anyone else does.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Just, oh, sorry. You can go ahead, Sophie.
I was just going to say, I really hope, like, if it's coloured, it keeps, like, the dark colours and there's no, like, I don't know, wild lemon green.
Yeah, I was just going to describe what it was for the audio listeners. Basically, Tokuyami in native gear with, is it like tusks hanging down? I don't know. It's very tribal.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if the tusks like are like foreshadowy. I don't know. That's the vibe I got. I was like, oh, if there's gonna be like 4 confirmed kills in this arc or something, I don't know. That wouldn't be good. Want less. Give me less.
Oh, there's already been what? Oh no.
Well, if you count Mocha and Johnny,
No,
that's 2.
Oh, no.
I think we have twice,
That's
so
3.
that's already 3. And
How
if you
can we
count,
forget
yeah,
everyone's favourite Johnny? So cute and lovable.
He was just minding his own business, going on a walk, and then
with his little sneakers, his little sneakers on.
yeah.
Oh, he haunts me. Imagine if you woke up in the middle of the night and you were like going to the bathroom. The scariest character of all of the ones in My Hero to be in the middle of your way, I think, would be Johnny.
there's some nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I'd rather see Darby than him. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that interlude.
No, you're good.
Anything else to say about that page?
I think we're good.
Cool.
We're all Johnny'd out.
And then we move on to the next page, and cute Dark Shadow is using their cloak to cover Hawks's burnt back. As Tokiyami really like protectively stands over him as well, like in front of Darby, and that ceiling is so precarious. When I first saw this page, I was terrified that they would do something and then it would just kill them all. And then Darby's just standing over them, and Dark Shadow says, "Fumikage, it looks bad." But Tokiyami's just like, "Don't say that." But nope, he carries on. His back, it's gone. And we can see, I'm glad that he's holding the cape kind of over his back and not adding it to his burnt flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Just grafting it on.
Yeah, like, oh, I know what will make this worse. And then Darby just continues, "You're one of those UA kids. They're dragging students into this mess." How tacky. That was quite a Sero thing to say. And he continues, like, "Check it out, kid," as we can see him thumb over his background to the poor body of Twice.
Did you mean Sarah like tacky, like his tape has tackiness, or?
No, I didn't mean that, but that's great.
My brain was like, oh, that's pretty good.
I was like, that's brilliant.
No, I just meant that it was like
he does talk
quite catty. That was all.
Yeah, it's back sass.
But I will say that Dobby's like that weird guy in the alley. Is like, "Hey kid, want to see a dead body?"
Stand by me. I almost started singing "Lean on Me." That's the wrong song.
Oh,
that wasn't in the movie, was it?
Stand by me. I don't remember.
Stand by me.
That's what I was trying to reference. But anyways, Dobby's saying, "Your man killed this guy. He was just running off to protect his pals, but in the end, he got stabbed in the back." He's like, "Why are you here anyways? Came to do some saving?" Actually,
sorry.
What?
I just thought that was so funny when you said it. It makes me think of, like, imagine a hero just jumping into like a burning building, but like, "Don't worry, I came to do some saving." Sorry, it's not that funny.
Moving on.
Doing some saving.
He's like, "These pros you look up to so much, their hands are dirtier than ours." And we see Hawks, he's pretty beat up, but he's saying, "Tokoyami." And Tokoyami looks on. We get a panel of Hawks looking on and Dobby looking on, all in a row. he says, I'm just concerned about my mentor. And Dobby's saying, you stop thinking for yourself? And whoosh, he throws a fireball. And we see Tokoyami just kind of dodges with so many characters. He's tossing Hawks aside as well. He says, too cramped, can't dodge. And he says, sorry, Fumikage. And the brightest flames are holding back Dark Shadow. Oh my goodness. He says, there's no time to lose. I have to escape and get Hawk some first aid. He's like, he'll keep talking. And he says, think about it, you pair of roasted birds. Who is it who really needs saving? And Tokoyami's saying, give me an order.
I do love Hawks just being like, he's just gonna keep going on about stuff and like talking about like virtue and heroism. So let's use this to our advantage real quick.
I know, he's just like, I'm gonna do my stand-up routine right now.
I'm gonna vamp a little bit real quick.
Try it out on these two. But he's saying he got too busy chatting to kill me properly. And now it's happening again. It's not because he has that much leeway. He's trying to rattle us to buy time for himself, since his flames have become weaker. And he says, and he can't fire them off all in a row. He says, go now, is what he's whispering to him. And we see that he uses Dark Shadow to kind of like, I guess, what is he doing with Dark Shadow? I can't even tell.
Bungee?
Bungee? Yeah, I guess it is like a bungee cord because he's bungeeing off. And we see that he's losing his grip. He's going, Fumikage!
Then he says, sorry, no strength, and then he falls with a thud. But that was all kind of designed to kind of break his fall so he doesn't fall as hard. So that was a pretty cool, like, I was impressed with that utilization of Dark Shadow. That was pretty cool. And Hawks is surprised, and he kind of collapses, kind of. And Tokoyami is saying, Hawks! He checks his hand under his mouth and nose to see if he's breathing, and he says, yes, just knocked out from that bump. I'm sorry, Hawks. Dark Shadow, no flames down here. And then I think he's announcing a move, Black Fallen Angel, and Dark Shadow returns to him, looks like. Oh no, he's going to be his wings. Okay, so then we have Dobby shooting flames at them again, and he says, I kind of saw this coming. I made those last two blasts weaker to save some gas in the tank. And Tokoyami and Hawks are looking back, and he's shielding Hawks again, and then there's like this large, not quite an explosion, but there's a big, huge disruption in the building as it's getting split here. And then on the outside, we see Fat Gum, and he's yelling, whoa, as we see a detailed money shot of Mount Lady being launched toward him. And so basically, yeah, her butt is there and on display as she's being launched. And
I like it though. It's not like it's a like sexualized image. Like
right.
She's just falling on her bum.
Yeah, and of course, and that's kind of like her theme as we've seen in the past. So, but the best line of like probably the series is Fat Gum yelling, "Booty incoming!"
I didn't notice. I thought that was Mount Lady for a little bit, and I noticed that was a Fat Gum, so that makes it kind of funnier. Because if that was her saying it, I'm like, all right, come on, it's a little bit too on the nose.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but he's probably like her number one competition for best booty. So then she reacts, ice, ow. So that whole big blast that like took the building apart is revealed to be ice, and that is coming from Getten as we see them removing their hood. And let's see.
This is the most we've ever seen Getten's face.
Yeah, because it was only in like a small panel before.
Yeah. Because I was like reading this chapter, I was like, wait a second, is this like the first time we've seen their face? But no, I remembered. Yeah, there was the shot where like everyone's standing when the Meta Liberation Army and the League of Villains like joined forces, and just really tiny paneling of it. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
And are we-
disappointingly normal.
I was gonna say ice climbers have joined the battle, but
And do we know? I think it's official that Geten is male, correct? Because
That's what I got off the wiki.
Yeah, 'cause it was in the guide. So okay, so then he says, "No more getting in Redestro's way, and don't go thinking you'll die painless death, you dogs of the state." And he's kind of like riding the ice wave, kind of like Iceman does in X-Men.
What a Full Metal Alchemist line that is.
I don't know.
Dogs of the state. It's really good. Okay, then next page we get someone calling out for Geten, who I really can't tell who it is, if it's just like another league member or just like a grunt.
I thought it was
really
Trumpet,
small.
but I can't tell.
Who's that?
He's we saw him in the panel when they were I think everyone was distracted because everyone picked their favourite characters, but when they were going through like the lieutenants and everything of the Meta Liberation front, he was one of them because everyone said that he looks like one of Pain's stooges from Naruto.
Okay.
But he's one of the like big players.
Well, whoever they are screams out for Geten, and Geten says, "I push back their attack. Pointless skirmishes here are just playing into their hands." And we hear someone say, probably still Geten actually, focus on one point and crack through a hole, with a shot of like Gang Orca and other heroes surrounded by the ice. And then we get this panel with another Liberation member whose name is escaping me, tunneling through the ice next to Gang Orca.
Sorry, that's the guy I thought you were talking about before.
Oh no, I was just talking about the little tiny character on the top panel.
Oh, the one who's wearing a suit. He looks like he's completely in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I think it's Trumpet, but I think that's his name, right?
I just wanted to file my taxes. What's going on?
I just came here to pick up my W-2.
Oh no. But so whoever that is, if that is Trumpet, or whoever you may be.
Earlier. This guy I don't think got named. He was just one of the officers.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to like look at the actual like lineup at some point, maybe after I finish up with this chapter. Kind of like refresh. But someone's coming after Gang Orca with a big boom sound effect. And it doesn't really seem like... You'd think Gang Orca would see him with, the eyes on the side of his head, but whatever.
Do orcas have good eyesight?
Probably not. They probably use what you call that?
Sonar.
Yeah, that thing.
Echolocation?
Yeah, both those things. So
Well, I mean,
know.
His power is whatever an orca does.
That's my favorite thing about the series, where it's just like every animal character has Spider-Man power, but I'm a frog. I'm a whale.
Yes.
So no one's allowed to get spider. Yeah, all the cats, all the Wild Wild Pussycats. Well, they had other powers too, but they were still very cat-like. Well, that was just their uniform, actually. Never mind. What am I talking about? Anyway, we jump back over to Dabi and Tokuyami's fight. And Dabi says, "Ouch, that ice punk sure knows how to let loose." And Dabi kind of looks around and says, "Should we get started early?" That's kind of ominous. Who knows what that means? Then we get this panel of Tokuyami just flying away, which is funny. Like the paneling of it, like it's got a lot of speed lines with it, but also just like the placement of the ice makes it seem like it's just there's so much like impact coming off of it, which is cool. It's really nice looking.
Yeah, and I just noticed that he covered a dark shadow with his cloak.
He's like, "It's too bright out, buddy."
Yeah.
He's like sniffling and crying through it.
It's got like a babushka.
But still carrying Hawks, which I feel like this is like Horikoshi's trying to do this, but like we just haven't seen Hawks back at all this chapter, and I feel like that will be like, I know we saw it the other chapter where it was just like, oh, all my wings, like they're really getting like burnt up, but I'm just waiting for like a big reveal chapter 2 from now where it's just like, my wings are gone, oh no, or something. like wild like that.
Mm.
Take some guts. I don't want it to happen, but it would take some guts. So we get this panel of Tokoyami like sobbing through his tears, saying, "Your hands aren't dirty, Hawks. I believe in you. Everyone does. You did the right thing. So don't die on us." And just Hawks is still like unconscious in his hands. Very sad. It's a sad sight. So we jump over to the underground of the hospital, I'm pretty sure.
It's
I think
the
it's
villa.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is still the villa. And all the Meta Liberation like army members are all underground. And Redestro's screaming about, "What's the holdup on my spare legs?" While he's still just two busted legs in his like dress pants.
And no top.
Yeah, no top, no shirt. Someone get this man a shirt.
But first, some spare legs.
But everyone in the crowd's looking away from him, not paying any attention. And someone calls out and says, "Redestro." He goes, "Now what?" As everyone's favorite big boy has finally stood up. Giganto Machia. Not matcha. That's the tasty green tea stuff. Our big lad's here. He's done staring at his radio, and he stood up and he just says, "Master sent," with a little sniffing sound effect. So, oh boy, getting some reinforcements soon.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's done watching their TikToks on their phone. And that's it. That's the ending for the chapter. Next chapter, May 24th. No skip. No skip.
No skip.
I really liked this chapter, mostly because there was like students in it, and then we got to the end and I was like, oh damn it, we're going to go back to War for One. Where are the students? No, Horikoshi, stop this. Oh, what did we all think of the chapter? Well, I guess I started first. So if we go in our normal little round robin, I really liked it. I think I'm interested to see where like Hawks Tokiyami starts to. It looks like he's questioning Hawks already after finding out that Hawks has killed someone. And then even as he's like flying Hawks away, he looks kind of dubious as he's reassuring him. But then I guess you're carrying someone who's completely burnt up and on possibly the brink of death, so you're never going to look steadfast. But I wouldn't have thought Tokiyami would be this great.
Oh,
Like, we
I'm
all loved him
so
anyway, but to
happy.
jump in for his mentor, who he was with for like, what, 2 weeks, who's in this like perilous danger. It's so cute.
You know, finally getting more Tokoyami. It's awesome. Like, really highlighted in this arc so far. And like, definitely been a fan favorite from people. Like, for a while with the series. Like, maybe not like a top 5 for a lot of people, but I mean, he's climbed up my rankings recently.
Yeah.
So good.
I think people really wanted to see more of him after the sports festival, and then definitely after the arc in the forest where Dark Shadow went mental and took down the guy who had evil teeth, Moonfish. That guy. When he took down Moonfish, everyone was like, yeah, we need to see more of him. And then there was just like nothing. And so people maybe like slept on him a little bit. But it's so good to see him, and then he's like one of those characters that you really, really want to see more of. And now that we have it, like none of it's disappointing, and it's just like elevating him more. But I'm glad that he went straight. Like, I'm glad that he's a character that's gone straight for evacuating. He didn't, like some of them would just get overly angry, like, you heard my mentor, how dare you, and just run completely unprepared for. I'm glad he didn't do that.
Correct. I feel like Midoriya probably would have. So
Yeah.
I like
Actually, yeah, because even in the Stain arc, like Ida did it, Izuku did, Todoroki did, Kirishima probably would. It's maybe a little bit more difficult to think of characters that wouldn't. But yeah, no, it was really great. I liked the tiny bit of humour for Mount Lady, but I'm wondering, like, I feel like that small bit of her just reminded us, like, hey, she's there. So I don't know. I'm hoping that she does something. I don't want to focus too much on Get It. I don't want to leave the students. But other than Tokiyami's great, I don't really have many thoughts on the chapter. James.
I'm going. I had to unmute. But I will say that they really do emphasize on heroes killing of villains on this. Like, remember last chapter, Exless didn't immediately try to kill, oh my gosh, Shiggy. And like it just seems it's like a weird emphasis that heroes don't kill anyone, and then whenever one does get killed, they try to make them seem like they're the bad person for killing the villain. Or at least Dobby tried to do that anyways.
But I guess they're like the front line defence, so it's like, well, like, you're all in America, so it's different for you, but like if the police in the UK killed someone, even if they were like a criminal or not, it would be headline news. Like a year ago, there was a guy the police were chasing. I think he swallowed a fork or something and died, and the police got in so much crap for it. But they didn't kill the guy, they were just chasing him, and he chose to swallow a fork. It's like you don't, but even if it's like an accident, you don't expect it, and it's not something that should happen. So I can see why they're playing it up. And if Darby is a Todoroki, I thought we were going to hear more about his what was his line? You've stopped, where he said you've stopped thinking for yourself. I thought we were going to hear more along those lines, and then he would carry on and be like, you're being indoctrinated into thinking heroes are great. Not only did they kill this guy, but blah, blah, blah. But no, that was all we got.
Yeah, there's also, I just noticed this too, that Hawks also got his feet burned as well. Whenever Tokiyama was trying to dodge that attack that Dobby did.
He got a boot caught in it.
Yeah, he got his boot burnt in it too as well. But yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. I guess it's different culturally, I guess, or whatever, because like I didn't really see a big deal in a hero accidentally killing a villain, because I don't think he meant for twice to hit his head on the railing.
Yeah, and with that whole incident, I feel like Dobby is at fault to an extent as well, because he caused like the explosion that like shocked everyone. So I don't know, like that whole thing is kind of
but it's kind of like, oh, I didn't mean to like crash into your car. Like it's still not excusable because it still happened.
Yeah,
sure.
But I will say too that besides all this action, I love how Horikoshi was able to blend comedic elements into it as well.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, because this was really, really well done. Because I was not expecting Mount Lady to come in and Fat Gum saying "booty incoming."
Plus, it's like good
so
to
comical.
It's good to have separation between like I think like you definitely need to have some like comedy in like, unless it's supposed to be like a real like this definitely had emotional notes, but like if you know, in some like final chapter like a main character's dying, I wouldn't want like a Akira Toriyama like poop style joke like happening in the middle of the chapter. But you know, here it's like separation between like Tokiyami's not the one making jokes. It's like we got Fat Gum, we got Kaminari over here doing his little cat poses, and Mount Lady, and like you still get a little bit of like levity.
Looking for his spare legs.
Where are my legs?
I just it was like so serious because like don't die on us, Hawks, and then the next scene, wait, where are my spare legs?
Yeah. Can anybody spare a leg?
Yeah. But it's really wild, and then it is good that we got to see Genten too. Like we don't get enough of Genten, but other than that,
yeah,
good chapter.
We continued to get Mountain Lady as the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
I hate to be like so complacent, like, oh yeah, this was really good, but it was good. I really liked it, and the main issue I've had lately is like lack of students. in chapters. So not only do we get a student, but it's not Midoriya. We get somebody we kind of don't see as often with Tokoyami. I also appreciate his using Dark Shadow despite it being in the middle of the day and despite going up against a villain using flame. So he knows that Dark Shadow is going to be weak here, and he does it anyway, and he's still successful. So that is really commendable. Like, I don't know. He's never been a character that seemed cowardly or afraid to run into battle, but still he knows he's at a serious weakness. And go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just looked again on page 13, and they were so lucky with where they're standing, because Darby's just flying through the air. How is his fire going to save him?
I don't know. We know that Endeavor uses
that until now.
Yeah. We know Endeavor uses it to propel himself, so he can probably do something like that.
I've not seen him do that before, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if he was, like, resting in between his fire, and that's why he was so chatty, and he just used those two larger bursts as he was coming down on them.
He could also,
how are you going to get out of this?
He could also, like, he could melt the ice around him and fall into, like, a pool.
Just take a dip.
My way.
Doesn't he also hurt himself with this quirk?
Yeah, the steam.
Yeah, he like, yeah, you can, yeah, right. You see the smoke coming off his skin or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. I hope we get a little bit more of this side of things, because to me it's more interesting than the hospital, but maybe once students get involved in that side of it, it'll be a little more interesting. But yeah, good.
Derek, what did you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Gary. Like, I want us to stay here for a little while longer, but that's also because I feel like one of the, I don't know, some people might find this as like a good thing or a bad thing with this arc, but I do feel like it's definitely been like jumping back and forth a lot. Like 2 chapters here, 2 chapters there, which I get it, especially with like, this is a really big like front that they're fighting on. But if you gave us just, you know, the culmination of all this stuff going on over here, and then like the last chapter of all that, there's just like some giant explosion or something, and it hits us with like a 20 minutes earlier, and then we just go back to like all the Shigaraki stuff. Like, oh my god, moi, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I feel like it's all gonna meet up, because with the My Villain Academia arc, we were really flitting between the characters there, and then in the end it culminated with everyone standing around that big crater pit, staring at Shigaraki over a destro. So it did kind of meet up in the end, but I definitely know what you mean about things just going back and forth quite a lot, and you just want to stay steady for a while, at least until something's resolved.
And I do think it was definitely like, it was more noticeable given like real world circumstances, you know, with Golden Week and then taking a week off of Jump anyway. So just like feeling like, you know, oh, we spent like a month and a half here, and then like it took another month and a half to go back to like Hawk stuff, and then back and forth, and so that's my only real complaint. Other than the chapter itself, it was a fun chapter. I mean, I love me some Tokoyami stuff, and getting more Fat Gum in this arc in general is awesome. We love Fat Gum.
This was a longer arc than we normally get as well. Normally they're like 15, 16 pages, and this is 19.
Yeah, it's kind of been between 15, 16, and 19 back and forth. So, yeah. That's nice, though. It's like, as I read it, I'm like, ooh, more pages. You know?
Ooh, a little extra.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if we don't have anything else to say, then we're going to go on to the Gary game.
Woo.
Whoop, whoop.
This is my hero academia. This is manga news and more. Plus Ultra. Ooh, they're my hero academia.
Game. If you haven't listened before, we take 2 characters at random from the My Hero Characters wiki page, and then we decide and debate what the best possibilities of their quirk child would be. As a little disclaimer, it's regardless of gender, or whatever their child would be. Okay, so the first 2 characters are... Also, I'm going to pronounce these names incorrectly, but do my best. So the first one is Daidero Sakaki. So he is one of the henchmen from one of the 8 bullets who worked from the Shihasekai. I mean, I don't know how anyone's going to remember him.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, they were the sloshed. That was their
Yeah,
quirk.
he was a sloshed guy.
Yes, that's him.
Okay.
So his quirk sloshed. Sloshed causes anyone who approaches him to lose their sense of balance, falling into a state of inebriation. I wonder if he can turn that on and off. Imagine if you like when you're a child and you can't control it, and your parents are just coming up to you like, "Here's your food." Just drop everything on your head. And the second character is Muscular. So if anyone needs a reminder of Muscular's quirk, it is muscle augmentation. And it gives him the ability to manipulate and amplify his muscles and enlarge them to disgusting quantities on top of and underneath the skin.
It actually says disgusting.
It does. I haven't added that. Right, so sloshed
Okay, I
and
can already.
muscle augmentation.
Oh yeah.
I want to go first because I can already tell who their kid's gonna be. They're gonna be a spring breaker. It's gonna be sloshed and buff.
No. They're riffraff.
Riffraff.
Do you know riffraff?
Riffraff. No,
Am I
don't.
the only person here that knows riffraff?
The rapper?
Yes.
That would totally be.
Because riffraff. Have you seen him lately? He's been training to be like a WWE wrestler. He's jacked. But he also parties all the time. So like, he'd
That
be like,
is
oh
their
yeah.
son.
My quirk is like, I drink and I get strong.
Oh, he does not look like he's the sort of person you would want to meet.
No, you
He
don't.
looks like he has terrible table manners.
Fun fact, he shot a music video in Daytona Beach at like the boardwalk that I used to hang out at as a kid. And I was just like, this is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm seeing his like muscular picture. It's pretty wild.
He's big now.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that's I'm throwing my hat in the ring that it's riffraff. That's and they're literally their power's just gonna be drunk and muscly all the time.
Any other ideas?
I do. I was thinking instead of like getting drunk, but having to do with something happening to his own muscles and nervous system. So like if he experiences like nerve damage, he can translate to that to the other person. So like let's say an injury. So if he gets injured, the other person gets like not the exact injury, but at least the feeling or effect of it. So if he's incapacitated, like he can't use his arm anymore, then the opponent can't use their arm anymore. But he has to kind of specify what who would be targeted by that. Does that make any sense? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he could be like, your arm's drunk. You can't use it.
Pretty much, but like in general, just more on the line of injury as opposed to drinking. Dealing more with like the muscle system from the muscular side of the quirk.
Oh.
I don't know.
Derek, other than their child is riffraff, do you have any suggestions on what their child's quirk would be?
I don't know. Like kind of, I guess it's kind of in the same vein, but like, yeah, like getting like muscle augmentation based on like different kinds of alcohol. Like, I don't know. No, I'm throwing my hat with the riffraff because I think that's funny. Gary's is really good too, though.
Yeah.
I've poisoned this game.
Poison the well.
from a joke perspective, I think the Riff Raff one, I don't know this guy. I can't judge this. I don't know who Riff Raff is. He's probably really nice. Doesn't look it.
I've heard not. I've heard he's not nice.
No. Oh, that was a weird one. Right, okay. Let's brush past Riff Raff. The next two are... Okay, so it's come up with Water Hose, which is a couple. That's, like Coda's mum and dad who were killed by Muscular.
Okay.
It's all tying together. We don't really know much about their quirk. I think they could I don't think they could create water. I think they could just direct water, kind of like Manual. It is Manual, isn't it? Yeah, the normal hero. Yeah, so kind of similar to him. And Destro. We don't know Destro's quirk.
No.
Destro, you're out. Who's in?
Read Destro. No, I'm joking.
Mr. Compress.
Oh.
Water Hose and Cottle. Very quick.
Ooh.
Yeah. The water balloon quirk. So basically being able to compress, either control or create water and put it in the compress balls and chuck it at people. That's basically it. This is our first. It's our first Gary game thruple.
What?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. I'd like it if they could. What if it wasn't just water? If it was like anything elemental, they could squash it down into little balls, but like keep it a flame. Like so they could take Darby's fire and just put it into a tiny ball, but then when they made it larger again, it was still there. It hadn't burnt out. And then like if they could capture lightning and electricity in their little pokeballs, that would be pretty cool.
Like I like the idea of like going over and going to like the ocean and taking like a mile of cubic area of like water and compressing it down to one of the little compresses, and then you throw it at someone and like deactivate the quirk as it's about to hit them, and they just get like flooded.
Haha, you're all wet.
Which because I guess I don't know, would it hit with like that much force or not? Because it's just like water just happens right there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was kind of leaning towards, that maybe like they were able to compress water, so it would be like high pressure and use like a water jet, which can cut through like steel and stuff.
Oh, I've seen many a YouTube video of just
cutting anything in half.
Cutting anything in our workshop with a water jet, and you're like, all right, cool.
You're you're laying in bed and you're 2 a.m. and you're watching water jet and hydraulic press channels.
Yep, hydraulic press channels. People like melting steel and putting it into like dude.
Yeah, that's me too.
It's great.
It's
great.
Unsurprisingly, this has never happened to me. Gary, has it ever been 2 a.m. and you thought, oh, I know, what could water destroy at high pressure?
Yeah, every other night.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like maybe their child, instead of just having the compressor quirk, he can just compress water to where there's just enough pressure that he's able to just slice through things.
Yeah. I do like that idea. I was thinking probably it would be something lame where they would just like create a bottled water company or something like that.
Oh, like that thing they tried to do a few years ago with the edible water bottle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it could be like a Tide Pod, but water.
It doesn't kill you.
No, it won't kill you.
I like that idea.
Different ways.
I feel like if Mr. Compress was going to have a child, it would make sense if he did it in like a little 3.
A throuple.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be the polyamorous type. He's got a very circus theme and they're wild.
Apologies to all our circus listening folks.
We have a big circus audience. Okay, so I think we'll do like 1 or 2 rounds next. The next one is Emmy Fukuda. Oh, Miss Joke.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure she's come up before. She is popular. So Miss Joke and Vanta Black.
Oh.
And his quirk just named Black. Horikoshi was tired that day. What shall I name it? Black.
I
So
have one already again. Sorry, go ahead.
So just to refresh for Banter Black, his quirk means that he can hide in anything that is black. It doesn't matter if it really has mass or not. So like he's hidden himself in a black mushroom before, and this joke just makes people laugh uncontrollably. Gary, what's your suggestion?
Okay, picture it. Black comedy. So,
I knew you were going with this.
No.
so basically, like the morbid sense of humor, like yeah, some movies are like that. So basically, my idea behind it is like when accidents happen, or not necessarily accidents, but when something bad happens to someone, then the people around them laugh uncontrollably. It's kind of like the America's Funniest Home Videos effect. Where people are like overly amused by misfortune befalling others. That's basically what it is. So it's like her quirk, but with like more morbid undertones.
Well, that is more
A lot to
morbid.
take in.
Yeah. Any other suggestions?
I got one. So they're not a hero. They're a hitman, like assassin.
Oh, you
They
got your
hide-
background and everything.
They hide in the shit. They basically got like they got the best lot in the gene pool, where like my quirk is just both my parents together, right? They're like perfect, just like two. I pulled a freaking endeavor. And it was like, yes, we've done it. Basically they use Vanta Black to hide in the shadows, and they're like the best like surprise joke artists in the world. And then when they catch you off guard and they make you laugh, they just stab you. You're dead.
So it's not that they get anything new from the quirk. They can't, like, if they make you
No,
laugh
because I can't.
but out of surprise.
I couldn't figure out a way to like make the everyone laugh. Gary's was good at that.
Mm.
I like your idea though of having like either surprise jokes or pranks, so that way
Ooh,
they like,
pranks.
yeah, so they can like not necessarily scare somebody to death, but like it goes way too far. Like they set up these weird jokes or props that are used as pranks, and then they have terrible effects,
Ooh.
explosions, what have you. Actual snakes jumping out of your can of
So they're like
macadamias or whatever.
Carrot Top. They're a prop cop. They're a prop
Sure.
comic. Okay.
Gallagher. Yeah.
No, I was thinking maybe if they, like, when they laughed, that laugh could somehow control like all of the black things in the area. So if the person's like in a shadow, they can move the shadow to engulf the other person and catch them. And their laugh is like you know the man that has the flute and gets all the rats.
Yeah.
They're like that, but their laugh does that with shadows and things.
The Pied Piper.
There we
that'd
go.
That'd be cool if like that would be like I'm kind of imagining it as like they take control of the shadows and the shadows become like the audience, like watching all the mayhem unfold like on the wall or whatever. That'd be cool.
I'm really glad you got that reference because I didn't explain it well and I feel like it was quite niche.
Yeah, you're good.
James, do you have an idea?
No, all of them were really good. I really can't come up with anything better than what Gary came up with. Honestly. Probably
Well,
not the answer you were looking for, but
No? That's fine. Should we do one more?
I'm down.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the first character is Lunch Rush. So we've not met Lunch Rush before. He's the guy that cooks their food. And I think he just has like a food quirk where he can make loads of cooking at once. Lunch Rush possesses a quirk of unknown name and nature. There we go. Sure.
What is he supposed to be, though? I don't understand.
I think he's like the cooking hero, but then I don't know. He's like, onions, and then from his belly comes onions. And he's like, carrots, and from his shoulder is carrots.
It
but
looks
like,
like
loads of them. I don't know.
yeah, We don't know his quirk, but under abilities, it says judging by the way the students eat their food, we can assume that Lunch is a very good cook. And it says 6 years ago, he prepared a full-course French meal for 10,000 victims of a typhoon on his lonesome.
Oh.
So I guess maybe he can just mass-produce food.
He could probably. I bet it's like producing food from himself. Ooh, actually, I don't like how that came out. Never mind, I don't like that one. Ugh, gross.
He can create fish and loaves out of like 7.
Cool. And so Lunch Rush is going to have a baby with the fourth kind. So fourth kind, in case anyone's forgot, he's the pro hero that Uraka intern. No, not Uraka. That I've forgotten his name. Kirishima and Tetsu. Yeah, they do their not the internship. Before the internship, and his quirk is quad arms, so he's just got 4 arms. Not as good as Shoji. Maybe they're related, but yes, his quirk is just that he's got an extra pair of arms. I say just, like, that's not like it's not a cool thing. So that would go really handy with Lunch Rush. Lunch Rush only has 2 arms. Think how much more food he could prepare if he had an extra pair of arms.
2 words. Hibachi chef. It's Lunch Rush with 4 arms. It's got 2 of them like doing like the what do they call it? Those little like spatulas that like clank around. The other hands are doing like the egg in the hat trick. It's great. World's best hibachi chef.
That's good. Like all I could think of is like the wait staff hero, where he can like carry like 4 tables of food at once.
It's like when you see like a waiter holding like 4 plates on each arm, just like down. So it's just multiply that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I didn't get a chance to catch. It was Lunch Rush and who?
Lunch Rush and fourth kind.
Oh, okay.
With his 4 arms. What's the world's biggest vegetable? Because Lunch Rush is quite a slender man, so surely you'd think he wouldn't be able to produce very big things.
Yeah.
I've typed in world's biggest vegetables, and it's just like huge
pumpkins and stuff.
Yeah. Wow, oh gosh, one massive potato.
I could also see him having the hero name like 4 course or something like that. 4-course meal.
4 course sounds amazing. Oh, that'd be hard to come up with a quirk. Just like Derek's was the having like a bunch of plates and hibachi stuff. That just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with that.
Oh, he'd make even better food.
I still
Not
like
even better, but just so much.
4 course is a great hero name too.
Ooh, there it is.
Swedes are big, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm focusing on this. I'm
Is
like,
that a
yay.
squash?
Yeah, I think so.
It's huge.
No, that's a person.
He just make loads of Swedes out of his elbows. I think that's the end of the Gary game. That was an especially weird one.
Yeah, a lot of the quirks were like.
They actually worked out pretty well.
No, I was gonna, or I mean, they did, but mental based. So that was kind of unusual.
I'm glad to have been reminded of Sloshed. I really liked that quirk when it came back, and when I saw it, even in seeing it in the anime, I was like, "Oh, that's great." Just the character connected to him wasn't as good. But anyway, so thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Derek. Where can people find you?
Oh, thank you. It was fun coming on. Y'all can find me over on Twitter at Great Big Sword. You can also find me on the Good Friends Anime Club at Good Friends Cast on Twitter, where we talk about anime and manga and assorted other things. I can actually say this because it won't come out before Marion knows. Don't tell Marion. So I've been playing Marion like a fiddle this last like 2 weeks. Because anyone that's
Sexy.
oh, it's just adding to our what you call it, the fandom. I'm kidding. There's been a recurring gag that I've literally like bought in physical, the Infinite Dendrogram light novels, but I can't read. And Marion's like getting torn over the fact that like, why won't you just read these damn books that you own? Because it's good. Spoiler: I read the first one finally. It's so good. Infinite Dendrogram is awesome light novel series. So,
Is it
but
better
I
than
haven't.
the anime?
Yes. Did you watch any of it?
I watched like 3 episodes and I
Dude,
didn't really
okay.
go back into it.
The first episode covers half of the first light novel.
Are you for real?
100 and something pages. Yeah, it's a good like fun like, oh, if you read this, like, yeah, watch it. You get to like visualize some stuff and cool, whatever. But there's so many jokes it misses out on. There's so many like little bits of like character building. So I'd read it. It took me a day to read the first one, so it's worth it. But basically Marion doesn't know I actually read it. I've been like playing him like a fool. Like, oh yeah, haha, I'm doing all these other things, haha. And he's like, just read a damn book. So I'm gonna be like, psych, actually, my favorite character is, he's going, oh, what? Oh my god. So
Just come out of nowhere and just start talking.
yeah, that's the plan. I got like an hour to prep my speech for it. I'm kidding. I don't prep for that podcast ever.
Cool.
But yeah. That's where you guys can find me.
Gary, where can people find you?
You can find me at Wrath of Giraffe on Twitter.
Cool. James, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, no surprise there, at that one Welder guy. I also have a Dr. Stone podcast, the Kicking Stones podcast. You can follow that at Dr. Stone Pod. Kendra was recently on, as recently as in a couple days ago. As well as the Weeb Jammin' podcast, which one of these days we'll record our Fully Cooley episode. You can follow that at Jammin' Weeb.
Cool. You can find me on Twitter at Choppers Antlers, and I don't have any other podcasts. You can find the podcast at www.mha.com. You can email us at myheropod@gmail.com, and on Twitter at mhapod. I completely forgot our email for some reason then. Thank you all for joining us, and now for the round out.
I have nothing.
Always save your heroes using your kind shadowy friend. That was terrible.
I was going to say,
Absolutely terrible.
if you're going to fall, land butt first.
Booty
Yeah.
incoming.
Do it again with more enthusiasm.
Which one? Booty incoming or? Okay, I got it. If you fall, make sure you fall on your bum and go beyond.
Ultra.
Ultra.
Oh no, what was that?